But let's talk movies. I know it's Friday, but besides that, Maharashtra has decided to open theatres. So let's talk about what really is the changing face of this industry, what really is lined up going forward. Let's talk to Kamal Gianchandani. He's the CEO at PVR Pictures as well as the president at MEI, joining in on the show right now. Kamal, hi, good morning. Great to have you on the show. Kamal, big day today, I'm guessing, because out of the 526, or rather currently 526 screens out of the total 842 that you have are allowed to reopen.
Morning, Aisha. Happy to be here. You're right. This is a happy day, and more so because Maharashtra, which is a very large and important state as far as movie releases go, has also indicated, at least in media, that they would be permitting cinemas to reopen. We are still awaiting the official order. Hopefully, we'll get it in the next 2 or 3 days. So yes, it's a good start. And I would say the fact that almost all major states now, including Maharashtra, have given us permission to reopen, except Tamil Nadu and Kerala, which hopefully Kerala could take longer, but Tamil Nadu, hopefully by middle of August, we should have the permission, is the indication that we are getting from various interactions with the government. So all good, fingers crossed, time to reopen. And fortunately, this time, as compared to, when we opened last year in October after the first lockdown, the lag between the reopening and the movie releases won't be very long. We've been in touch with our, partners on the content creation side, be it Hindi, Hollywood films, regional films. And producers have been extremely forthcoming that they don't want to wait too long. As soon as all major states give permission to reopen, even if there is a capacity restriction, which is what we have currently at 50% in most states, producers are extremely comfortable with that, and they would start releasing films very, very quickly. In fact, Hollywood will start releasing immediately in August. And by end of August, we are expecting that Hindi films will also start coming out.
Kamal, that's an interesting clarification that you are mentioning, that you haven't quite received a formal notification from the Maharashtra government. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes, that's right. That's right. But if we were to go by the media reports, and also the Honorable Health Minister, Shri Tope, has also given interviews to publications confirming that the Honorable Chief Minister has permitted cinemas to reopen, but we don't have an official order as yet from the government. That's right.
Interesting. But having said that, I'm guessing, Kamal, you must be getting your armory ready right now when the reopening does happen. And I'm sure you'll get an official notification soon from the government as well. How exactly is this reopen going to happen? Is it going to be phase-wise, gradual? Is it going to be region-wise? I'm sure you've chalked out a plan already.
That's right, Aisha. It'll be a gradual opening, like the government is like the government which is taking very calibrated moves with respect to reopening. We will follow the same sort of process. On 30th July is when we are reopening in all states where we have permission to reopen our cinemas. We would open with about 250 to about 300 screens. And in the subsequent week, we will open some more. And then in the next week, we will open some more. I do reckon that by middle of August, third week of August, we will have bulk of our theaters up and running in all the states where we have permission to reopen. So yes, it'll be in phases, but it'll not be region-wise. It'll be in all states where we have permission to open. We will open at once, but it'll be a calibrated opening. We will open week-wise. And with every passing week, we will continue to increase the number of screens which have been reopened.
Kamal, I want to draw a comparison here with other sectors which were badly hit because of COVID and, some of the discretionary spends, for instance, be it aviation, be it hotels, along with the reopening and, that gap that we had between the first and the second wave. You saw a big spike up in the demand. There was revenge buying. People wanted to go out and, take that little holiday, go out to amusement parks, etc., for instance, and, plan those trips. Do you sense that things could be a little bit different for the moviegoer per se? Because you're not in the habit to go into cinemas and watch movies, and that's been over a year and a half now almost. And there's been that large influx of OTT in your life, which has somewhat changed your, TV viewing habit, if I can call it that.
Aisha, it's a good question and also a fair question. But I would say that when we opened after the first lockdown, we saw, although we didn't have a lot of big films, but we saw a lot of momentum at the box office, especially the south of the country in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. Kerala was not open, but all the other remaining 4 states in south of India, the kind of appetite we saw for films, for audiences, customers to come out, be at cinemas, was phenomenal. We were almost close to back to pre-COVID levels in southern states. North and West were struggling because of lack of Hindi content. Hollywood films were also few and far in between. But South really took off because we had ample supply of brand new local films, regional films. The sense that we are getting in the second reopening after the second lockdown is not very different. And I would say, in fact, we would see more pent-up demand this time round because we have more content. Our business is joined at the hips with the content. And there is a direct correlation between brand new films releasing and the kind of spike in admissions that we see at the cinemas. So, in fact, because there won't be a lag between reopening and Hindi films releasing, Hollywood films coming out in big numbers, we would see, in fact, a better spike in this reopening as compared to the first reopening. I would also add that when we look at the international markets, be it China, Korea, Japan, the local films have really driven the spike in admissions when they have reopened. US also post-opening, there has been tremendous amount of pent-up demand in spite of, a lot of films, a lot of big films releasing simultaneously on streaming platforms day and date. The numbers that we are seeing at the box office in theaters are extremely positive and very encouraging. So, looking at all these signals that we are getting and the sense that we get from, the customer base that we have with whom we are engaged with on regular basis through our social platforms, our loyalty customer base, the sense that we get that there is enormous amount of pent-up demand. People want to go out. Also, when people go out, with respect to out-of-home entertainment, cinema will perhaps be the number 1 choice or maybe the number 2 choice after dining. So I don't see any reason why this time round the admissions with brand new films releasing will have any struggle at all. There could be some warm-up period, maybe in August and September. People would take time to warm up. People would like to know that cinemas have got their act together. Cinemas are safe and they are safe with the protocols in place in a manner which is not interfering with the movie watching experience. People would want that comfort. So maybe for the first 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, people would take time to warm up. But thereafter in Q3, Q4, we are expecting big numbers.
Have to ask you, Kamal, what's the movie lineup looking like? Any big releases that have been much awaited?
Well, for Hindi, looks like Akshay Kumar's Bell Bottom would be the first one off the block. We are expecting it by the third week of August. Thereafter, we'll have Bunty Bubbly 2, Jhund, Thalavi, Chere, Suryavanshi, which has been waiting, for almost a year and a half now. Atrangi Ray, which is again Akshay Kumar with Anand L. Rai as a director at the helm. Prithvi Raj again with Akshay Kumar. So Akshay Kumar has a lot of films which would be releasing over the next 6-7 months. Jayesh Bhai Jordar with Ranbir Singh, Bachchan Pandey, Antim, Satyamev Jayate 2. I mean, it's a long list. I can go on rattling off names, but the point is that we've got films for every segment in Hollywood films. We've got Top Gun, which would be coming out later. And of course, James Bond, No Time to Die is the big one, which will come out in October. Eternals, Marvel's next from Disney, and this time they will have a proper window in US, about 45 days windows. So I think the business has started moving back to normalcy, at least in the Western countries. And in India, we believe it will move back to normalcy fairly quickly. Maybe the first 2 months, people would take time to warm up. But once you have these big Hindi films, big Hollywood films, and of course there are big, massive regional films, RRR, which will come out either in October, November, or in November. Pushpa, Rajnikant's next, which is coming out either this Diwali or Christmas. KGF 2, which is a very, very, big, massive franchise that would also come out in November or December. So I think when you put together these regional, massive, pot boilers, blockbuster films, which will also be dubbed in multiple languages with big films in Hollywood, and of course, staple diet Hindi films with Akshay Kumar, Ranbir Singh, Ranbir Kapoor. These are all big names, films which are lined up for the next 4 or 5 months. Content lineup is extremely positive, very, very strong. And of course, we are thankful to our content partners for holding back these releases, specifically Yashraj, which has been a big supporter of cinemas, theatrical platform, Reliance, which has held back 83, Suryavanshi, two really massive blockbuster potential films. So thankful to all our content suppliers, producer partners. And fortunately, we've got a big lineup of, some really strong films which will be coming out in the next 4 or 5 months.
Indeed, that's a strong lineup and a long lineup of movies. Can't wait to get back to the theatres. Kamal, great speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today.
Thanks, Aisha.